Hey, everybody, welcome to the daily update for Monday, March 9th, 2026. Happy Monday. This has got to be the fourth, fifth, and if you take a couple of gap weeks, maybe the ninth time in the last few months that we've had Sunday evening panic and none of it followed through on Monday. Last night, people were going crazy. The Nikkei was down 7%. There were oil fields blowing up in Iran. Oil futures went crazy. But if you were to look in the Lund Loop trading room, you didn't see any panic. In fact, what you saw was people posting charts showing the McClellan oscillator super oversold. Some of the moves in the oil complex that were just like multiple standard deviations away from what they should have been. The point I'm trying to make is last night in our community felt more like an extreme. Now, is it a final extreme or is it a short-term extreme? We don't know that yet. But the point is, people weren't looking in our community for the bottom to fall out today. We were looking for there to be a potential reversal. And this is something I talked about in the daily update on Friday. I said the worst thing, well, actually, let's go to the charts here. I said the worst thing that could happen for the SPX would be if we got a little weak bounce up into this area and then rolled over. I said, I believe if we get a gap down, it will be bought up. And sure enough, that's what happened, got bought up. Now, to be fair, got a little bit of help. Let's get the rival sons out of here. So let me just go. Let me. If I have a soapbox, I'm going to get on it. Let's get on it here. What I'm going to tell you right now is not a political statement. It's just a statement of fact. It's a statement that is just so, I think about it and I just go, it's stunning to me. It also doesn't really have any implications. It really doesn't have any implications for being able to make money off of it. I mean, I guess it does in the abstract way, but it just, the idea growing up that we would have a president or an administration that would literally try to make announcements or to frame announcements or, to color things a little bit based upon what the stock market was doing was just unheard of. I mean, in the abstract, every administration that I've lived through has cared what the market did, but didn't come in, the market's down 800 points and say, boy, we better rush a press conference out. This administration cares. This president cares whether the market is up or down, doesn't like it when it's down. And when it's down big, it's not unusual to see these things come out of nowhere. Well, that's exactly what we saw today because we gapped down. Now, we did have this little W pattern here, which is usually a good indicator that we're finding some sort of a bottom, right? That's a spot right there. We came back up. We recaptured Friday's low. We kind of lost it a little bit, but then we held up. And then right here, there's an announcement that from the president that the war could be over sooner than we think. And the market goes ham. Okay. A lot of people, I was on a spaces at this point. A lot of people like, well, I don't know. I don't know if I believe this. I think we're going to get a taco or we'll get a taco after a taco. Totally understandable. I feel the same way. But how do we gauge these things? We can gauge these things on an intraday chart just like we gauge them on a daily chart. We talk about the move after the move. Okay, so here's the move, right? That's the move. Then we find the move after the move, and that's after this move ends. Now, how does a move end like this? It can either end like it did here, nice little orderly consolidation, or it can retrace. If we'd seen this thing retrace 50% or more, I'd be like, yeah, that was probably just a BS headline. But we didn't. We held and we actually went up a little bit. So that gives me a little bit more. We're starting to roll over a bit here on the futures. But that gives me a little bit more evidence that this move could last for a day or two. But now we switch to the daily time frame. We saw the move after the move on the 5-minute. Now we want to watch for that on the daily. This counter trend rally will end at some point. It will either end here or maybe it will go up a little bit farther for a day or two, but it will end at some point. Then what happens is going to be key. Do we just sell it all off? Do we go sideways for a day or two and have a very tight range that's more or that's less than a 25 or 33% sell off? If we get that, if we get a very tight correction, and then we get the move after the move, that's when we will start pushing on the gas. Right now, all we've done is we've stopped going down, and that's it. I mean, I guess you could say we recaptured this level, but we haven't even gotten to the 8 EMA. So this is a good start, but where it goes from here is anybody's guess. But we'll watch the clues. We'll be patient. We'll wait, and we'll wait for the moment when we really have the odds in our favor. That's when we'll push things. Otherwise, we're still kind of in a knife catching environment. All right, so let's go through all these indexes. And if you want to watch the rest of this and you're on Twitter, just click the link in the reply. If you're on YouTube, click the link in the comments.